Upbeat, attention-grabbing music starts and fades into the background. Love is blind, but the law isn't. Every single year, thousands of couples get engaged, sign a prenuptial agreement, and assume they're completely protected. They think it's just a piece of paper, a simple formality before the big day. But then, if the worst happens and divorce is on the table, they get a brutal wake-up call. Their prenup is completely useless. One wrong word, one missing clause, and just like that, you could be facing thousands, even hundreds of thousands, in alimony, property loss, or legal fees you never, ever saw coming. So before you say I do, and definitely before you dismiss it as just a formality, you need to watch this. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on the top prenup mistakes that cost couples an absolute fortune. And more importantly, how you can avoid them. Welcome to Law Unwrapped, where we simplify the law to empower your future. Let's dive right into the biggest blunder of them all. Mistake number 1, not getting separate lawyers. This is, without a doubt, the number one reason prenups get thrown out of court. Think about it. If one single lawyer drafts the agreement and claims to represent both of you, a judge can later look at that and say, hold on, this agreement wasn't fair or independent. One person clearly had an advantage. It's a classic conflict of interest. To make a prenup legally sound, each partner must have their own independent legal counsel. Your lawyer's job is to look out for your asterisk's best interests, and your partner's lawyer does the same for them. Even if your lawyer just reviews the final draft prepared by your partner's attorney, that step is critical. Without that independent review, your entire prenup is like a house built on sand, ready to crumble at the first sign of trouble. Don't skip this, it's the foundation of a strong agreement. Alright, moving on to mistake number 2, and this one is a deal breaker. Hiding assets or debts. It might be tempting to forget about that investment account or downplay the credit card debt you've racked up, but let me be crystal clear, you cannot protect what you don't disclose. If you intentionally hide property, bank accounts, stocks, or debts, your prenup can be invalidated instantly. Courts have a specific term for this. Lack of full and fair disclosure. When a judge determines that one party wasn't honest about their financial situation, the entire agreement is tainted. Your ex-partner can then argue, they lied to me from the start. I didn't know what I was agreeing to. I want my fair share, and guess what? They will probably win. So here's a crucial tip. Be brutally honest from the very beginning. Create a comprehensive list of all your assets and all your liabilities. It might feel uncomfortable, but that complete financial transparency is what protects both of you. It proves that you both entered the agreement with your eyes wide open. Honesty isn't just the best policy here, it's the only policy. Now for mistake number 3. Signing the prenup too close to the wedding day. I've seen this happen time and time again. The invitations are out, the flowers are ordered, and then, just a few days before the ceremony, one person slides a prenup across the table and says, "Hey, can you sign this?" This is a massive red flag for the courts. Judges often see this last-minute signing as a form of pressure or duress. The argument is that the person being asked to sign didn't have a real choice. Were they really going to call off a wedding with hundreds of guests and thousands of dollars already spent? It creates an atmosphere of coercion, not consent. A prenup should be reviewed, discussed, and signed at least 30 days before the wedding, if not longer. This gives both of you ample time to consult with your lawyers, understand every clause, and sign without feeling pressured. A last-minute signature practically screams, "I didn't have time to understand what I was signing." And when that argument is made in court, the prenup often gets tossed right out the window. Don't let the ticking clock destroy your legal protection. Let's talk about a shortcut that often leads to a dead end. Mistake number 4. Using cheap online templates. I get it. You see a template online for $49.99 and think, wow, I can save a fortune on lawyer fees. But this is one of the most dangerous gambles you can take. Those generic one-size-fits-all documents are a legal minefield. Here's why. Every single state has its own unique and complex laws regarding marriage, property division, inheritance, and spousal support. A generic template downloaded from a random website has no way of knowing the specific legal requirements for your state. What's perfectly valid in California might be completely unenforceable in New York. Using a template that doesn't comply with your local statutes can make your entire contract invalid from the get-go. So, ask yourself, if your relationship and your financial future mean something to you, is it worth risking everything to save a few $100s now? Invest in professional legal advice. Spend a little now to avoid losing everything later. Mistake number 5 is one that sneaks up on couples over time. Not updating the prenup. Life isn't static, and your prenup shouldn't be either. When you first sign it, you're capturing a snapshot of your lives at that moment. But what happens 5, 10, or 15 years down the road? Your income grows. You might have children. You buy a house. You start a business. You receive an inheritance. All of these are major life changes. But your prenup, if you never touch it again, it stays frozen in time, reflecting a reality that no longer exists. A prenup that doesn't evolve with your life can become outdated and, in a judge's eyes, irrelevant or unfair. It's a good practice to revisit and potentially update your prenup every few years, or after any major financial event. This shows a commitment to fairness and keeps the agreement legally strong and relevant to your current circumstances. An updated prenup is a living document that protects the life you've actually built, not just the one you were starting. Next up, mistake number 6. Ignoring state laws on fairness. Many people think a prenup is a blank check to write whatever rules they want. They get greedy, drafting an agreement where one person gets absolutely everything and the other is left with crumbs. This is not how it works. Courts have the power to review a prenup for what they call unconscionability. That's a legal term for an agreement that is so outrageously one-sided and unfair that it shocks the conscience of the court. If a judge looks at your prenup and determines that it's grossly unfair, they can simply refuse to enforce it. The goal of a prenup isn't to leave one person destitute. It's to create a clear, predictable, and reasonable plan. So, don't be greedy. A fair, balanced prenup that provides for both partners in a reasonable way is the one that actually holds up in court. The strongest prenups are the ones built on reason, not ruthlessness. Finally, let's talk about mistake number 7, which is perhaps the most important for the health of your relationship. Forgetting emotional transparency. A prenup isn't just a financial document, it's an emotional landmine. If you approach it like a cold, hard business transaction, you risk planting seeds of resentment that can poison your relationship from the very start. When one partner feels tricked, blindsided, or pressured, that feeling doesn't just go away after the ink is dry. Think about it this way. If you have an open and honest conversation about money and your future before you get married, how do you expect to navigate financial challenges together after you're married? Use the prenup process as an opportunity for radical honesty. Talk openly. Explain why you want the prenup. Is it to protect a family business, pre-existing assets, or just to create clarity for both of you? The conversation should be about building trust, not building walls. At its best, a prenup isn't anti-love. It's trust. It's a statement that says, we respect each other, we are being honest and clear with each other, and we are committed to protecting each other, no matter what the future holds. So let's recap the essentials. First, get separate lawyers. Second, be fully transparent about your finances. Third, sign the agreement well in advance of the wedding. Fourth, avoid generic online templates. Fifth, review and update it as your life changes. Sixth, make it fair and reasonable. And seventh, have an open, honest conversation about it. Remember, love is a beautiful thing, but when love meets the law, clarity is power. This has been Law Unwrapped. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. We're here to simplify the law and empower your future. See you in the next video.